Okay guys, I am here with a shipping video for you. Sorry I didn't get this up on Friday, but if you know me and you follow me, I am deep into my coaching volleyball season. I had a boys' huge nationals tournament in Lawrence, Kansas this weekend, so I was really busy. We played 3 days in a row. They got 4th place out of 24 teams. We won a gold ball in our division on Friday, so very proud of them. It is amazing. Super excited about that. So I am going to still try to get some type of what sold video up here for you guys, and that's what I'm doing. I kind of want to make this a little bit higher. I'm trying to see if I have a box I can put the camera on. I just have you guys on a box right now, and I feel like it could be slightly higher, but I'm guessing you probably don't care that much. Let's try this. That's not going to work. That box is not steady. Anyway, I'm going to show you what sold on eBay. We're going to ship with eBay sales because that's where I had the most. I had 30 eBay sales, so I'll just show you what I'm shipping, how much it sold for, I will let you know, and then maybe we'll just do a little chat because you guys did seem to like that. So thank you so much for the feedback on that last video. I do think that's something maybe I could include in future videos because for one thing, it's very simple. I do not have to edit. A second thing, it's just kind of like a work with me, which I feel like people like just to have in the background, or just like kind of like you have a coworker even though we don't. This is still really bothering me, so let's look for a box. Oh, I think I see a extra shipping label box I can use. And it can get the camera a little bit higher. See, this is where you guys are. There's tape, a box. I'm very professional, as you see. There. Okay, that's better. Okay, so let's get into it. I hear Ellie barking like crazy outside, so that's lovely. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. So 30 eBay sales. The first thing I sold, usually when I'm doing shipping, I have on reseller videos. But obviously today I don't want to do that because that would be in the background. So this is a COS sweater, which is like a line of H&M. I think it's a more expensive line. This was a size large sweater. I don't think it had any wool. I think it was just cotton. And it sold for $31. So for my eBay, I use all of these poly mailers. You can get these on GyroPack. I do have a link down below. They have lots of different options. You can get 10 by 13s, larger ones that I use a lot for coats and jackets in the winter. So go ahead and check that link below if you want a discount on some shipping supplies. And see, that's what I mostly use. I never hardly do priority anymore on eBay because it's not worth it. Priority is just too expensive. Next up we have this. Is this the right thing? So I have all of my stuff. I just have it in a pile down here by the floor. And then I grab it. Okay, this, I'm just going to pick this up and find it in my eBay orders, even though it's not the top thing. This is an Avant Toy, I think that's how you say it, top. This was a large blue silk. You can kind of see the tag right here. It sold for $50. Kind of an artsy brand. Lag and Look I will also put in there. So I've sold that before in a sweater for like over 100 or around 100. So that's definitely a Bolo brand that you want to be on the lookout for. I can see Ellie going on to one of our decks. Ellie is my dog, if you were not aware. So she's done barking. Thank goodness. I'm using my Jadens thermal printer, which I got recently, and I really like it, but they have 2 different options for labels. One is like on a roll thing, and another one's like a fan fold, like a flat, and I like the flat ones better because the roll thing, every once in a while, it kind of gets like caught up. So anyway, if you guys need a printer, that link is down below. You can get a discount. I would not recommend using your regular printer and tape because that takes forever. Next up is an Alley Miles top. This sold extremely quickly. Petite extra large. This sold for $34. So really great price on that. I am trying to only pick up those in the larger sizes. Extra large are up. I did experiment with the smalls and mediums, and they're just not selling. They're either sitting for a long time or they're not selling for very much. So I'm skipping on those. Of course, I still have some available, but from now on, I'm not going to get those. Next up, we have a pair of Lily Pulitzer pants. These are really cool. They're very bright. I'm running out of room to put these. These were new with tags, and they sold for, let me find them in my list here, $55. So Lily Pulitzer, size large, or size 16. They were called the Corso pants. I had them listed, I think, for $75. Someone offered me $55 with summer season kind of being done. Obviously, I mean, even though today I'm filming this on, I think, what is today? The 18th? The 20th. It's going to be 82 degrees today here in Iowa, so we don't know where fall is, but for the most part, people aren't buying summer stuff as much. So if I get an offer on a summer item, oops, my label went on not very straight, on a summer item and it's pretty good, I'm going to just take it. Next up, another summer item. This is the brand CP Shades. CP Shades is a great brand. Sometimes I don't feel like some of the stuff sells for as good as it used to. This is a linen striped tank top. So being a tank top, it's obviously not going to sell as high as other things would. It sold for $25. So I was still happy with that. My smaller items, if I can, I fit them in these little padded cactus mailers. And these are also on Gyro Pack. So it just makes for a cute little package, and I don't need to really use my other bag. So I put like sunglasses in those, wallets, really small tank tops. I don't really sell jewelry, rarely sunglasses, but again, I don't really sell those as well. The only time I was selling sunglasses is when I was getting them in thread-up boxes, which I don't get anymore because they've been horrible. Next up is a pair of Judy blue jeans, which I am extremely picky with these days. I'm hardly picking up anything. These are a size 28 boot cut. They sold for $17. I used to be able to get the boot cut in even the smaller sizes, and they would still sell for around $35. Not anymore. Extremely oversaturated, which I knew that time would come because it comes with almost every brand. So that's why you have to continue to do research, look up sell-through rate, look up comps, watch reseller videos like mine and other people, but make sure it's people that actually know what they're doing and are making good money. I don't like when resellers are on here giving you advice and they like don't run a good business. I feel like that's kind of rude, but like not really. But it's like, be careful who you listen to. Next up is a pair of Sorel boots. These only sold for $15. I've had these for almost a year. So it is time for them to go. A lot of Sorel boots are not selling good for me anymore. So let me know, in your guys' opinion, how they do for you. But for me, they have just been lacking. And I've been looking up sell-through rate on a lot of them, and it's really, really bad. And average sold comps in a lot of styles are bad. I mean, there's some that still do okay for me, but for the most part, they are not doing that good. So I have skipped a few pair, even just these past couple of weeks out thrifting. My sister and I did take a road trip up to Kansas together Wednesday before my tournament. Stopped at some random little like small town thrift stores. It was fun, but it's not good for me and my business because I sell, you know, clothing and shoes, and these are just like small little, not to be mean, but like crappy. People in these towns are not wearing good clothes. And so it was not good for me, but it was still fun to hang out with my sister. I mean, I found a few random things, but definitely nothing that great. Next up is a pair of Lululemon pants that sold for $8. These are a pair of size 4 joggers, the Rejuvenate joggers. They were kind of an older style. Sat for a long time. I have stuff in my store. If it's 9 months or older, it's 75% off. I am ready to move it out. There is no point in continuing to keep items that aren't selling, that people don't want. I don't understand why some people keep items in their store for years. I don't think that's the best idea, but you can do you. But that's just my advice. And when I listen to Tech and Sports, sorry, I am part of his group now. He talks a lot about how markdown sales are just part of your business. $31 in these Keen boots, women's size 8.5. So I think I agree with that. I think you should always be having a store coupon on your eBay store. This is just eBay. I think you should be having Okay, ground advantage on this is $10.58, and priority is $13.94. I can use a priority mail flat rate small box. I don't think they're going to fit, $9.55. So I'm just going to have to pay $11 for these. Anyways, markdown sale. I think you should always have some kind of markdown sale going. I usually start marking stuff down after 60 or 90 days. Sometimes though, even 30, I will do like 10%. But usually I wait 60 or 90 days. And then as far as Poshmark, I try to go maybe, and then I update that like once a month on my eDay. I will end all those markdown sales. I start a new one, so that way, like, other things that haven't sold in that 90-day period, now they're going to be added to that new markdown sale. On Poshmark, I feel like I do it about once a month. I will go through and do a closet clear out, like promotion, you know, the ones we can do. And I'll drop stuff by 10% that I've had in my closet for over 90 days. Next up is a pair of Spanx camo pants. These were in a larger size, if I remember correctly. Yes. Size 2X camo high-rise joggers. They only sold for $21. Not all Spanx sells good. Lately, I've only had luck with like the jeans that are flare in any sizes. But bigger does seem to do better. And then I've had luck with like the Ponte. Oh, I just purchased a priority label and I forgot to check. Some of my things are still on my old like shipping preferences where I was using priority, and I want to ship almost everything ground advantage because it's cheaper. But this is what happens when I talk. I just automatically pushed purchase shipping label and priority, and I'm sure it was going to be cheaper on the ground advantage, so that's my fault. Anyway, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? I don't know. A markdown sale. I do it once a month on Poshmark. Well, anyway, if that thought comes back to me, I guess we will continue to talk about it. Let's see what's next. We have an Eileen Fisher striped shirt that sold for $8.75. This is a size medium. It was a linen, boxy, oversized top. I'm leaving behind a lot of Eileen Fisher these days, which makes me sad because I feel like for a while I was doing so good with everything, but the smaller sizes are just not performing. So that's going to go bye-bye. This might have done okay. I did have it though. This was available in the spring, even because it's more like a spring-summer item since it was linen and striped. But it didn't sell. It didn't sell all spring, all summer. So I was like, all right then, it's going to go on sale and we are going to be done with it. Next up is a Peruvian Connection dress. Lots of Peruvian Connection in my area for some reason lately. Some of my stores are being crazy and marking it up a lot, but some of them aren't. This sold for $26. It wasn't a size large. It was an orange Pima cotton turtleneck dress. It ended up having a small hole, which I didn't notice when I bought it. So I did go ahead and list it for a lower price, and I still made a decent profit, but I would have liked to get a little bit more, obviously. So maybe you just need to be a little bit more diligent in the thrift stores, checking things over. But just lately I'm like, oh, I gotta get home. I gotta get ready for volleyball practice. We only have one more tournament at the end of the month into the first couple of days of November. And then we'll be done, which will be nice to have a break, but sad because I love it. They're such a fun team. The boys have been so great, and they're so fun to watch. Next up is a Bryn Walker jacket slash cardigan. This item I've had for a while, and it didn't sell for as much as I wanted to. It only sold for $20. So usually I can sell Bryn Walker for more than that, but since it was in my closet for so long, it had gone through a couple of markdowns. So these are some other bigger bags I use from Gyropack. And this is the perfect size for something like this. I can just fold it up and it fits in really nice. So anyway, $20 in that. I would have liked to get more, but I didn't. That's okay. Guess what? I have really exciting news if you care about my life. My husband, Dustin, randomly has been making comments. So my daughter, my mom, my sister, and my niece, we are all going to Disney World in April for a girls trip. This is a pair of CWX leggings. This is a compression like athletic brand. They are size extra small and they were crop. They sold for $17.50. I've sold that brand decent before, but maybe because they were crop in a smaller size. So anyway, he's like, oh, because he hasn't been with us to Disney since 2021, 2022 maybe. It was the year that my daughter graduated, which I'm like severely spacing. Anyway, it's been a couple years. We went with him, or we went without him, Grace and I did, on a girls trip. And then recently we were in Orlando for a Universal trip. And we didn't go. We only went to Universal. We didn't go to Disney. So he like made a comment randomly the other day. Oh, have you ever been at Disney at Christmas? And I was like, yeah, it's really cool. But like the last time I went, it was with my sister. It was our other girls trip. And I said stuff was like partially closed because of COVID. And so we didn't get like the full experience. This is a vintage cachet top, which is like a store that's not even around anymore. It's a size medium lace. I did put Vampire Victorian Y2K in my title. It sold for $35. Anyway, so he's making comments. I'm like, oh yeah. So I like say stuff. And then we're watching a Disney Haunted Mansion movie on TV the other night. And of course, a Disney World commercial comes on. So he asked me again, like, oh, that kind of looks cool. I'm like, yeah. And then he like joked around a couple times these past couple weeks, like, maybe we should go to Disney for Christmas and that'll be my present to you. And I'm like, okay, because he always like will joke around with like me and the kids and be like, oh, let's do this. Like something like really exciting. And then he's like, I was just kidding. I'm like, okay, that's not funny. So anyway, finally, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to ask him. I'm like, are you serious about this? Because don't joke with me about taking me to Disney. And so I text him one day. He's like, let's talk about it when we get home. And he's been working extra and making really good money. So I price out a trip for 4 days at the cheapest resort, at the All-Stars Resort. And I'm like, hey, this hotel and tickets for like 4 days and 2 travel days, it would be as much as your paycheck last week. I was like, what do you think? And I got him to agree. So I'm so excited. We are going to Disney World, just me and Dustin, on December 12th through the 17th. We are going to the Christmas party the first night, which is super exciting. If you don't know Disney, they do a special Christmas and Halloween parties where the park stays open till like midnight or 1 a.m. and it stays open really late. They only select or sell like a select number of tickets. So it's way, way less people. You can walk on almost every ride, and even the most popular ones are maybe 20 minutes. They give you free snacks and drinks. They have a special parade. They have a special fireworks show. This is a vintage express cardigan sweater, size medium wool, Y2K, sold for $27. So we're going to the Christmas party, and then we're going to go. Epcot has this like Christmas story processional or something they call it. So it's like a 50-piece orchestra and a huge choir. And shockingly, they read out of the Bible of the Christmas story at Disney. I know. Disney and the Bible, that doesn't really go together, but so they have celebrity narrators that come up and read like the Christmas story, and then they have songs. And first I'm like, oh, this probably sounds like my husband's worst nightmare. But he's being so nice. He's like, we can do whatever you want. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to freak out. So we're gonna go to that, and we get to see Ralph, I don't know how you say his last name, the Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid. He's gonna be the celebrity narrator, which is like so cool. And watch that. And so I'm just like, oh, and then we're gonna go to a couple like reservation restaurants. So that was like my really exciting news. This is in a Masuk size small cowl neck sweater. It only sold for $12. Masuk does not sell as, it doesn't sell as good in the smaller sizes. Same with a lot of brands, so just check on it. Anyway, so now I have 2 Disney World trips booked at once, and basically my dreams are coming true. I'm so excited. So that's some personal news update for me. If you guys also love Disney, comment down below and let me know what your favorite place to stay there is and what's like what's like your must do at Disney World? I'm gonna go, I think we're gonna try to go to Via Napoli restaurant in Epcot. We can get a package for that show if we stay at a certain restaurant, and then we can get certain seating. And that's one of the choices, and we've never been there, and I've heard it's really good. An Italian restaurant. And then I gotta pick, I think he said let's do 2 like sit-down reservation ones, so I gotta pick what I want for my other one. We've done Be Our Guest, which is the Beauty and the Beast theme one that's really cool. I've thought about trying the Brown Derby at Hollywood Studios, which is like an old town Hollywood feel, but like good, maybe like steaks or something. So anyway, I'll stop talking about Disney because if you don't like it, that's probably extremely boring to you. Also, by the way, that was a pink J. McLaughlin sweater that sold for $7 that I've had forever. Not that great. This is a John Mark shirt, however. This one's much better. This sold for $39. John Mark size 2X floral plus size top. $39 for a top. That's amazing. I keep ripping off new thank you stickers, and I forgot that I have some over on the side of my desk because when I use my big items with the, oh my gosh, we have ladybugs everywhere. This ladybug, okay, you can't see it. They're coming through our window somehow in the fall, and they're everywhere. Anyway, when I use my big poly mailers, I just seal them shut because they're like have automatic seal, but my smaller stuff is in these Walmart bread bags. So I use thank you stickers to like seal them before I ship them. And like out of habit, since I'm talking, I was like grabbing a thank you sticker, but then I couldn't use it for the bigger one. So I need to get these couple thank you stickers that are sticking on the side of my desk for my next items. Okay, this is a black, what is this? Or is it blue? Most of the time I can tell through the label, but oh, these are black Athleta release pants. So kind of like a looser fit, like dance style pants. They sold for $21. They were in a size extra small. I don't hardly get any Athleta anymore. Sometimes I feel like I say this stuff and then I like get lazy with sourcing, or I really need to be listing this many a day, but now I'm like, I need to be more disciplined. I'd rather list 5 really good items a day than 10, and 5 of them are like bad, that are going to sell low or they're going to sell really slow. So I'm trying not to be stuck on, I have to list this many every day because of this. So hopefully I'll stay better with that. Next up is a pair of Fry boots. I got these recently at a Goodwill, like literally just the other day. They are a size 11 women's leather harness boots. They sold for $60 within hours. I think I heard that like Fry boots are making a comeback, but I need to get a box for those because I don't have one right now, so that's not going to get shipped yet. But I wanted to tell you about that. They're pretty scuffed up, so I do feel like I could have got more for them if they were like in slightly better condition, but I'm still happy with 60 bucks on that. Next up is, I think earlier when I shipped those Lululemon pants, I think these are it. Or these Frank and Eileen. Wait, time out. Okay, these are Frank and Eileen. Good. Every once in a while, I don't like open up my bag and look at the tag, and I'm like, oh, crap, am I going to get something mixed up? Okay, so those are Frank and Eileen black, size small. They're called the Catherine Crop sweatpants. I have been getting these at a consignment store recently for around $37. And I have been selling them for a good amount. These been sold for, let me see, $75. So still making the $20 profit that I want, even though I'm paying up a lot. And they've been selling good, and they've been selling quickly. Another pair in Mercari sold for like $100. So definitely be on the lookout for Frank and Eileen. Some things sell better than others, but it's for sure a bolo. Next up is a J. Crew sweater. This is in a size extra small. It sold for $6. It is black and it is cashmere, but I've had it for a really long time. Probably if I would have relisted it during the start of the fall season, I think I could have got more money for it, but sometimes I'm just not, I don't know, I just don't go through and do that because I have so many items listed. I have around like 13 or 1400 items listed. So, I don't know. Anyway, I basically made my money back on it. I'm trying to fit it on this little cactus mailer, and it's kind of tight, but I think it's going to work. because it is pretty like thin and small. It was older from J. Crew, so I don't know. That could have kind of had something to do with it. I can see that my sister's texting me, but I'm really gonna try to finish this video. And next I have an Aryan Alley top. This is an Anthropology brand. That's what the tag looks like. However, I don't think it does extremely well. This is sold for $20. It's a size large, gray, ruffle, pullover sweatshirt. So okay sale, not the best, but glad to get it out to somebody. A couple of my boys that I coach were asking me about my reselling business, like, do you even make good money on that? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make like $60,000 this year. And so I think people don't realize that you can make good money, and then also they're like, well, do you feel good about that? And they're kind of like joking, but kind of like the people on the internet that say I'm scamming people, I think. I'm like, yeah, I feel great about it. I feel great about making that much money by selling stuff that people didn't want and just gave to the Goodwill. Next up is a pair of Keen shoes. These are a pair of slip-on black like canvas shoes. They sold for $30. And then it was funny too, because one of the boys just had on like an American Eagle sweatshirt, and he's like, oh, so how much would you sell this for? I'm like, barely anything. And he's like, what? And I'm like, American Eagle isn't worth that much. And it's like, they don't understand. One of my younger boys is like, oh, I have some Jordans that I don't wear anymore. Like, could those sell? I'm like, okay, maybe those could be worth it, some of them. So anyway, it's just kind of funny people's perception of reselling and like what they think of it. So I kind of like tried to explain it to them a little bit, but obviously they don't totally get it. But I think it's a great job. Next up is a pair of Madewell jeans. These ones are in a size 29. They sold for $31. They were the straight leg classic jeans. So a nice sale there. That's pretty good. I guess I would still get some Madewell for certain styles. That's a little bit less than I want to be selling things for my average profit price, but it's not too much less. And I also think like right now, fall, winter, they're going to be selling the best, but once it gets to be middle of winter, when people are starting to think of spring, they're not going to be doing that great anymore. So I would need to kind of be aware of that. We're almost done, guys. We've got a few more things. Patagonia vest, women's size large, red down, Gorp core. I used hiking, outdoor. This sold for $47. I love Patagonia, but some things sell better than others. The better sweaters, some of them are like so oversaturated, they don't even sell that good anymore. But the puffer vest, especially the down ones, and the jackets and coats can still do really good. So I would definitely keep picking those up if you see them. And you should be able to make pretty good money. I sold like the base layers and stuff before, and they just do okay. So really looking for the better pieces from the brand that I can make more profit on. I'm going to have 4 IKEA bags out for my mailman tomorrow, so we hope they don't hate me. Next up is a pair of Spanx. These are size medium. These are black. They are a size, or I said that, they're twill ankle cargo. That was the style. And they sold for $30. I think. That shows item price. So that's pretty good. $30. Especially with it being a smaller size. I think because they were a cargo, that made them like a little bit more desirable. If they were just like a pair of skinnies, that wouldn't have been so great. So, pretty happy with that. We are going out to lunch with my mom pretty soon. I'm filming this Sunday afternoon. This is my last item, I think. Or Sunday morning. I mean, I'm filming this Sunday morning. Talbot's jacket sold for $59. I just picked this up. This is new with tags. Size large. It had this tartan plaid. Really pretty. This is not in an inventory bag yet for some reason. I think because I had it hanging up with my coats. But I'm going to go ahead. I get these off of Amazon. These are my bigger poly bags that I put like jeans and jackets and sweaters in. So those are also linked down below in my Amazon links. Just to keep an extra layer of protection. So $59 in that. is pretty great. I did pay up $15 for this, if I didn't say that. I figured it would sell fast, and I was right. It did. It only cost $6.33 to ship on Ground Advantage, which is amazing. I really liked when they switched over to Ground Advantage because shipping is less, and it still gets there, I feel like, in a pretty good amount of time. So, this is my last thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for working with me. Let me know if you like this. I'm always looking to find ways to make my YouTube videos get more views and make it better for you guys. I think you guys really like the other ones, so I'm probably going to keep putting those in. After volleyball, I think I can get back to 3 videos a week, but for right now, it's just too crazy. But it's almost done. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you probably on Tuesday. I think I'll have a video out. So just subscribe if you haven't yet. Push the bell next to it. You'll get a notification every time I put out a new video. Hope you guys have a great day.